I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Jim.
Somebody call for the queen.
Chucky is back. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, for the first time in more than 16 years, John Gruden takes to the sideline here in Oakland as coach of the Raiders. But they're in for a tough test against a playoff team from a year ago, the Los Angeles Rams. I'll talk to you again at halftime with a look back to games from yesterday. But first, we head out to the East Bay. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains.
They go play action here on first down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
They'll run to Marshawn Lynch, and he stopped immediately there. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Carr gives to Marshawn. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
Throwing now is Carr. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Samson Ebukam able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
4 down. Get down.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. They run. Lynch. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Carr going to throw, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, they all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
They'll run for it with Lynch. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
So they get three, certainly hoping for six. For these Raiders, a couple of years ago, 12-4, 2017, big-time disappointment, 6-10. But as they head out on offense here, optimism abound because on headset number 1 is a man named John Gruden.
And I would expect this team to...
Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over, yet they are humans out there running around. And
they start the drive with Lynch.
it made it happen. They put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they will set up shop at their own... Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They run with Washington. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And now here come the Raiders. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he finds his man. It's the former Ram, Jared Cook. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah,
Here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And they'll take over. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Here's Carr to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
But this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator?
And my goodness, another interception. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And now running right through him. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's had. So out come the Raiders. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Lynch. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped out.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Down. 180.
To throw again. Carr trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd down, Lynch. And he's got room. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun on 3rd down, Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fielded at the 20. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. And not a blitz there, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Down. 280.
Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
4 down. 180.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Nikel Roby-Coleman there defensively. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw, it's Carr. They find some open field here. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Cooper was the target there, and that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And the Rams now coming out on the field. This ball game. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Carr gives to Lynch on the draw. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play.
Single receiver. Hey, you're in an island over there. Single receiver. Monday, down. 180.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And Cook has it left side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And complete right side to Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They go with Washington to begin the drive. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Get down.
On the draw, Carr leads to Washington. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Get down. 180.
Now Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the fly over the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for L.A., it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll head